So the 3-year-old, he looks at me very serious and says, Auntie, if I eat this tamago, this egg, I'm gonna throw up. Then he makes the face. He does that just so I don't lose the meaning. And I said, what do you mean? And I said, are you not feeling good? He goes, no, if I eat this tamago, I'm going to throw up. And I said, okay, so by the way, if I wasn't curious, I could have got offended. I made you dinner, you're not eating dinner. You know, sometimes parents do that, sometimes we do that. So, and or I could have been like, what? Because sometimes I do that. That's my thing. Whether it's not a bad thing usually on my side, but it can be read that way. So I'm like, what? You know, I could have even done that. So I'm like, wait, I don't understand. You wanted tamago and natto rice. You asked for it. So why don't you want to eat it? Because it will make me throw up. And so I had to keep my laugh in. And I said, okay, so you don't want the tamago? And he said, no. And I said, why? And then he says, so we've been watching them a lot because my brother's in the hospital, so their mom has been gone. So it was about the 4th or 5th day that she wasn't there for dinner. So he says, Mommy's tamago, I only want Mommy's tamago. And I go, oh, but tamago is tamago. Egg is egg. And his brother goes, yeah, while he's eating. Egg is egg, tamago is tamago. And he said, no, very serious. No, Auntie, I only want and I only like Mommy's tamago. And I was like, okay, so you don't want to eat that? No. I said, okay, just eat your rice. Do you want something else? And then I gave him options and he chose something else. So in that situation, sometimes when parents are busy or whatever, I've seen it so much. We do it in relationship too. When someone says something that we don't expect or we don't understand, or because we did something for them, we get offended, like, oh, you're ungrateful or whatever, which a lot of kids get, but also in spouses and partners. We can be like, oh, you don't want to eat it? I just spent all day making that for you, or something like that. Instead of being curious, right? And I'm so glad that I did, because I think I created a safe space for him to express how much he misses his mommy